Folks, I've seen this plan backfire many times. I'll get into that and then the latest home prices and insights for York Region for week ending October 30th, 2024. A family, one of their children are out of the house. They're living on their own, paying rent. Maybe they're newly married. They've got their own place. They're renting. They're just not saving any money. So the parents come up with this brilliant idea of finishing the basement and saying to their son or daughter, hey, why don't you and your husband or wife come and live with us? We're not going to charge you rent, and you could save money to buy a house. And the kids will say, Mom, Dad, thank you. That's a wonderful idea. So the kids stop paying tons amount of rent somewhere else, move into their parents' rent-free. Parents are so happy that they're able to do this to help the kids out. They spent $50,000 to $100,000 renovating their basement, or maybe the basement was already renovated enough for the kids to live there. But the kids are there rent-free, and in principle, sounds like a great idea. And for many people, it works out. The kids save every penny, and in a few years are out of there with a sizable down payment, and they buy their own place, and they're so grateful for what the parents did. But there are many that go the other way. Without having expenses, the kids see their bank account growing. They don't see any rent coming out. All of a sudden, the newlyweds that are in the basement, one of them needs a fancier car. Well, they got the money. They can afford it now. They don't have any rent to pay anywhere else. Or they have the latest whatever, fancy clothes, cell phones. They were okay before going on a small vacation, an inexpensive vacation every couple years. Now, they don't have any expenses. Now they're going on multiple vacations. Now they're not eating at home anymore. They're eating out more often. And mom and dad half the time have meals ready for them. And they're enjoying their life rent-free, expense-free, except for the expenses they themselves incur. But those are fun expenses. So the plan of saving money to buy their own place just doesn't really materialize. And instead of being there for just a couple years to save up enough for a down payment, they're there indefinitely only to leave later and rent again, which there's nothing wrong with renting if that's the choice. But it wasn't part of the plan. The plan was to buy. And I've seen this so many times. I've seen it with my friends. I've seen it with clients that I know where they bring the kids in and then the parents are calling me, Santo, my plan isn't working. I don't think my kids are saving any money. Then I've seen the plan where the parents do charge the kids rent, and the parents tell me, yeah, we're charging them rent, but we're actually just going to save it for them and give it to them later. But they don't tell the kids that because then the kids don't want to pay rent. So the kids kind of get pissed off. Well, why should I come home if I'm paying rent and be under my parents' roof when I could stay in my own place and have the privacy? So these are real life situations that happen every day, all the time, across the world. This is not a GTA thing or anything like that. So, the plans may be well thought of and the plans may come from the heart to help your children, but they got to want to save money if they're going to get into their own place at the end of the day. If you feel this video can help somebody please pass it along. If you get value from what we're talking about, subscribe. If you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, it's really simple. There's a link to my calendar here, another one below in the description. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Now, let's get into the numbers. Here we go, folks. Let's look at the York region numbers. We're going to be focused on Vaughan, Richmond Hill, and Markham For detached properties only, here's a quick summary going over 3 months. Markham, Vaughan, Richmond Hill, way up there when it comes to average price. Let's get started. We're going to start off with Vaughan for week ending October 30th. 32 detached properties were sold. 4 of those, 4 were sold at $2 million or more. Does it look like sales are kind of trending up, increasing? It does to me. So 32 were sold. Average price is $1,649,000. On a weekly basis, average price is up and down. That's the nature of when you look at this data on a weekly basis. But overall, I would say it's kind of looking about average to me. Even 1.6 or so, 1.6.5 seems to be about an average price that we've had since the end of September or so. Compared to last year, 1.649 is 4% lower than where we were this time a year ago. The median price is 8% higher. The dotted line, that's a 4-week moving average, and it's kind of showing that average price is trending down and median price is trending down. Now, earlier I said the price kind of looks flat, but the 4-week moving average takes 4 weeks, averages them out, and takes the next, moves over 4 weeks, averages it out, and it kind of smoothens the line a little bit. It may be really accurate, it may not, but if you got an abnormal week in there, it kind of pulls the average one way or another. Average price also has some pitfalls there. So this is a guide for you to kind of look at and see what's happening with the market. I would say it's either flat or trending down a little bit. 32 were sold, 25% sold at list price or more. So 8 of the 32 sold at list price or more. Active listings, not a lot of change since the beginning of September. 84 detached properties were listed for week ending October 30th. And months of inventory does look like it's trending down. We're now at 3.8 months of inventory. Still what I would call a balanced market, but that's the whole Vaughan detached market. There's going to be pockets and home types and home prices where it'll be very competitive, and others, it's going to feel more of a buyer's market. But overall, we're looking at a balanced market. Here's Richmond Hill. 19 detached properties were sold. 8 of those were at $2 million or more. I put 19, I put a star there because 19 for the last 4 or 5 weeks kind of seems normal. The week before, where we sold 29, kind of seemed like it was off the chart, like more than what we've been selling on a weekly basis in a long time. But 19 over the last 4 or 5 weeks kind of seems where we've been at. Average price is way up there at $2,029,000. Look, on a weekly basis, depending on what sells, will determine, is average price way up or way down, and we're way up on this week. Compared to last year, $2,029,000 is 11% higher than where we were this time a year ago. The median price is 14% higher. 19 we said were sold, 6 of those, so 32% sold at list price or more. Active listings is coming down. Listings in general are dropping, and months of inventory sitting now at 5.3. This whole week with the average price way up there and months of inventory way up there because of where sales were, we got to average it out over the next few weeks and kind of really see what makes sense. But months of inventory was coming down. This 1 week it jumped up. Here's Markham. 31 detached properties were sold. Kind of looks like to me sales, although we had a couple of weeks that were lower, sales overall are improving. 5 of those 31 sold at $2 million or more. Average price is $1,631,000. Kind of looks like to me average price may be trending down in Markham. 1,631 is 3% lower year over year. The median price is 1% lower. The dotted line, the 4-week moving average, also shows that average price and median price, is trending down. 31 were sold, 14 of those, so 45% sold at list price or more. Listings from 1 week to the next are up, although listings have been trending down. Active listings, not a lot of change. Months of inventory has been coming down. It's now at 2.8 months of inventory for detached properties in Markham. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. Here's a quick summary. We're pretty much in a balanced market. In some neighborhoods, some home types are going to experience a seller's market, but predominantly balanced market when it comes to detached properties in Vaughan, Richmond Hill, and Markham. Have an awesome day.